Welcome back. Well, finally this hour, she's the beloved performer who created one of the most iconic television characters of the 20th century. I Dream of Jeannie star Barbara Eden is on stage now at the Alhambra Theater in Jacksonville, starring in their new production, Social Security. It's the latest in a long line of roles for the actress, who is also a New York Times best-selling author, by the way. Of course, she first shot to fame with the classic NBC series that co-starred Larry Hagman and featured a genie, a bottle, and of course, one unforgettable costume. A special treat now as Barbara Eden joins us here in studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Such a pleasure to meet you.
Well, thank you. You as well.
So let's talk about Social Security. This is a great production. I'm hearing raves about it at the Alhambra. Not the first time you've done this play, right?
No, I know. I appeared in it in Kansas City for a long, 10, 12 weeks.
Really? And so you're here for several weeks. The show is, you play a mother who comes to stay with the younger generation, and you have a few tricks up your sleeve. Is that right?
Well, actually it's a comedy. It's very funny, but it's a real life situation. It happens a lot, where the mother or father has to be taken care of by the children, and it becomes a burden for everyone. And the mother thinks she's discounted and not loved, and then she blooms.
And then you bloom on stage.
Yes.
And you've done it all. You've done movies, you've done television, you've done theater. Is it fun to get out and do theater and have that interaction with the live audience?
It is. It is. I always tell people that it's apples and oranges, film or stage, but I think. To be a healthy actor, you have to do both. You don't have to, but it's good to. Yeah. I enjoy it.
You enjoy still being active and doing it. And,
I do.
When I heard you were going to actually be here in studio, I was so excited because normally we get to interview the folks that come through town on the phone. The show that you first worked on, I Dream of Jeannie, I grew up watching that program. I think I've probably seen every episode from 1965 to 1970, and it ran on NBC. I read that it was initially put together to compete with Bewitched. Is that right?
I don't believe so, no.
No?
No, I don't think so. Sidney Sheldon at least said not.
No.
It was completely a different show. And actually it was magic, of course. You know how they do on television. Everything goes in cycles. And if one show is popular, you'll have many, many cop shows. You'll have many, many psychological dramas or something. And at that time, the magic was kind of in.
But it became just an enduring. I don't think it's ever been off the air it's in the 40-some years since it first debuted.
No, it's on the air now.
Yeah, it's
all
incredible.
over the world. It is amazing to me, and I'm very pleased. She's easy to live with.
Of course. And just last year, you went to, I think it was the Vienna Ball, and I saw the photos online. You still easily fit into that incredibly beautiful costume.
Oh, that was scary. That was scary. I wasn't supposed to have that.
You weren't?
No. They were to design a costume for me, and I had told them, now look, it can't be like the genie. You can have a hint of it, but we'll cover the arms, we'll cover the midriff, please. And well, it was. I got to New York City and tried it on, and it looked like Brunhilde.
It didn't work out so well.
So I thanks to a girlfriend, I had packed the old costume and one of the old hats that I'd had. And I said, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think about this? It all happened so fast that I had it on before I knew it. It had been photographed.
You were a sensation. Bill Clinton was photographed just rushing up to shake your hand. He was so excited to meet you.
I was the mistress of ceremonies for
Right.
that evening for Elton John, Fergie, President Clinton, and he was a delight. He was so nice, and he had obviously watched it. I don't know how he did that. I asked him, actually. I said, you were studying when I was on the air. you were probably, he was a Rhodes Scholar. He was probably in England. How did he have the time? But he knew, yeah.
How funny. Well, you're so gracious because I'm sure you get asked these questions all the time. And so I appreciate your patience because on our Facebook page, lots of comments for our Barbara Eden. The most common question, is she single? I don't think so.
Oh, no. I've been married for 23 years to John Eicholtz.
Very nice.
A wonderful man.
And here's another one. Is it true that even though you were dressed as a belly dancing genie, you never once showed your belly button on TV? I think that's right. Isn't it?
Oh, well, no, not really.
Not really?
It peeked out once in a while.
But the censors didn't want you showing it.
Well, actually, that was not a problem at the beginning of the show. It was a writer from Hollywood Reporter who would come down on the set, and he'd tease me. He'd say, "I don't believe you have one," and I'd say, "Nickel a peek."
A nickel a peek.
Nickel a peek. Very cheap. Very cheap. Very cheap. And in those days, when I'd raise my arms up or do magic, it would peek out, but it wasn't obtrusive.
Sure.
So George Slaughter, who happened to be a friend of mine, was producing Laugh-In, and he said, "I'm going to premiere your navel on Laugh-In." He thought it'd be a hoot because this story had bloomed across the country about my silly belly button.
It was a big thing.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, then the sponsors began to be really worried about it. That was a silly thing.
Now, the late Larry Hagman was famously quoted as calling you the most beautiful girl in the world. I noted that this morning when we were getting ready to have you here in studio.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, and the chemistry you and he had was always, I just thought, absolutely wonderful. I wanted to ask you, too, because even when I was a little girl and I would watch the show, I would note just, the whole concept of it was very sexist. Of course, it was normal for the time, but here was this all-powerful woman with these incredible powers, but she had to report to this master who could order her to go back into this tiny little bottle. Just the sexual politics of it were fascinating.
I have to disagree.
You don't agree?
Not a bit, because she was a genie.
Right.
She wasn't a human.
She was a genie.
This is an ancient story that's been told over and over again. Man or woman, whoever's the genie, these are the rules they live by.
Uh-huh.
It had nothing to do with sexism. It had nothing to do with the politics of our time in the 60s.
You didn't see it as being part of that whole upheaval.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
She was doing her job. That's all. And and quite frankly, she was controlling the situation.
Well, that's what people loved about it, because you always seemed to figure out a way to get the upper hand. And you also played the sister role, too.
Yes, I did, darling.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I liked her a lot.
Yes, she was sort of the alter ego, the bad
fun.
side. Yeah.
She was fun. I liked her.
Well, how much longer are you on stage? It's several more weeks, isn't it? People still have time to go see you.
Yeah, about 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah, three more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
3 more weeks. Have you had the chance to get out and enjoy see the city at all, or are they working you pretty hard?
I have not seen the city.
Not much?
No, but I would truly love to. I'd like to. I think we will next week.
Yeah, and maybe go see the beach. A little bit different than the beaches in California.
Well, they're beautiful. I've seen them, but I'd like to enjoy them. My girlfriend and I are here. And then, of course, the last week my husband will come. So he was very excited about Jacksonville and the TPC. I have to remember the
yeah, the Players Championship.
Oh, my goodness. He was over the moon when he found out I was coming here.
Well, it's a thrill to meet you, and thank you for the complimentary copy of your best-selling book, Barbara Eden, Genie Out of the Bottle. Everybody go pick that up. It's a New York Times bestseller. Pleasure to meet you, and break a leg. Thank you so much for being on the show. It's great to have you.
Well, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
And we will be back with our Friday Media Roundtable Week in Review tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Melissa Ross. This is First Coast Connect here on 89.9 WJCT FM Jacksonville, community-supported public radio. Have a great day.